It's interesting. So I joined Microsoft after serving as the chief technology officer for the city of Seattle. And I remember how many conversations we had about should we allow employees to work remotely? What did technology enablement look like? And during this moment where government has had to radically change its operations, it feels a bit like a quaint conversation where government does need to be ready to transition and be productive no matter what issue comes up. And when you think about what it takes to take a workforce of 100, 1,000, tens of thousands to be agile and work from anywhere, that is not capacity that a government can afford to build themselves. It requires the cloud. And what we've seen through the pandemic is that governments that were able to very quickly transition to remote work are the governments who had begun their digital transformation and were using tools like Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams. And so when employees went to work from home, they had access to their files, they had the same communication and collaboration tools they were used to, and they were able to work, if not at full capacity, pretty close to it in those initial days. And I think about examples of places like North Dakota that very rapidly decided to scale out teams to their organization and therefore had access to files and ways to collaborate across not only their close teams, but across departments, which was very important as we saw the pandemic affect um, parts of government that perhaps had not collaborated before. We also, more closely to the work that I'm performing at Microsoft, where we work with quite a few legislatures, we saw a need to maintain government operations. And whether it's a city council or a state legislature, these are bodies that must come together to pass laws and rules and fund budgets to make sure that the government could continue to respond. And so I think about the Houston City Council that was able to continue meeting and deciding how to meet the needs of their citizens by using Microsoft Teams to convene virtually without showing up in City Hall and subjecting the council members or the public to risk. So the cloud has proven to be absolutely critical in enabling governments to be responsive.